Hello, grade 5 students. How are you doing? I hope that you're all doing good. This is the science lecture video number 6. And in the previous videos, we were talking about plant nutrition. We talked about the 3 patterns of nutrition in plants, which are green plants, symbiotic plants, and carnivorous plants. We said that green plants need 4 different things to live and grow in a healthy way. They need carbon dioxide, water, sunlight energy, and minerals. Green plants produce their food through a process called photosynthesis. By photosynthesis, plants get the food that they need, which is a kind of sugar. By respiration, since plants are living things, they breathe, they go through respiration. So by respiration, plants get the ATP energy needed for a healthy growth. And finally, we talked about the carbon cycle, which connects the different processes happening in nature, such as photosynthesis, respiration together, and we added the word or the term decomposer. Decomposers decompose dead bodies and turn them into minerals in the soil. This time we'll be talking about animal nutrition, and I will keep 2 words, producers and decomposers. What about producers? What do we mean by the word producers? Producers are organisms that produce their own food. To produce their food, which is a kind of sugar, these organisms combine carbon dioxide, water, in the presence of sunlight energy to produce a sugar, and this process, the food making process, is called photosynthesis. So plants take in carbon dioxide by their stomata, they absorb water from the soil, and they use the sunlight energy to mix CO2 and H2O together to get sugar and release oxygen to the outside. What about the term decomposer? Decomposers are small organisms that decompose dead bodies and wastes. They also decompose food, as you can see in the video. So decomposers such as fungi, bacteria, different kinds of insects like cockroaches, ants, decompose dead bodies. Let's watch the next video. In the next video, fungi, which are decomposers, are decomposing a dead organism. So here is a dead insect. The body of this insect is being decomposed by decomposers. What about other animals? Can we consider animals as producers? No, we cannot. To go through photosynthesis, to be a producer, you need to have the chlorophyll inside your body, since the chlorophyll helps plants catch sunlight, and sunlight is necessary to go through photosynthesis. So animals are not producers. Are they decomposers like cockroaches, ants, earthworms, bacteria, fungi? Let's take these 3 examples. A panda, a bird, which is a pelican, and the lions. What do these animals feed on? Do they produce their food? No, for sure. Animals aren't producers, like we said. Are they decomposers? Are they decomposing or breaking down dead bodies? No, they're not. This kind of organisms that eat other organisms, so like the panda is eating plants, the bird is eating fish, lions are eating other animals. These animals that feed or eat other animals are considered as consumers. So consumers aren't producers, they do not produce their food, they do not decompose dead bodies, they eat or consume plants or animals. So consumers are called consumers since they eat other organisms. These organisms can be plants or animals. So now we have three types of organisms. Producers, green plants are producers. Decomposers, such as fungi, bacteria, earthworms, and many more. And consumers. We are consumers since we eat food and we do not produce it or decompose it. And what do you think? Do all animals feed on the same kind of food? Do they all feed on plants, for example? Do they all feed on animals? Let's take a look on the animals belonging to group A. I will call this group A. What are animals feeding on? We have a cow, a donkey, and elephants. The cow is consuming grass. The donkey is feeding on grass too. Elephants are eating leaves. So, all of these animals are eating plants. What are other examples of animals that eat plants? Can you guess some? Rabbits, that's right. Rhinoceros, good job. Zebras, giraffe. Let me add this example. Giraffes also feed on plants. So, what do we call animals that eat plants only? The first type of consumers are herbivores. Herbivorous animals are animals that eat plants only. Herbivores are plants that consume plants only. So, cows are herbivorous animals. Donkeys are herbivorous animals. Elephants are herbivorous animals. Giraffes are herbivorous animals. And I know that you know other examples of herbivores. So, what are herbivores again? Herbivores are consumers that eat plants only. We mean by plants, leaves, grass, flowers, fruits, seeds, nectar. So here they gave us some examples of herbivores: deer, horses, sheep, grasshoppers. Let's check now the animals in group B. In this group, we have a lion, a hyena, and a snake. Animals in this group feed on. Let's see. The lion is eating meat. The hyena is consuming a dead animal, and the snake hunted the rat and is consuming the rat. So, these animals are feeding on other animals. Other examples of animals that feed on other animals, that feed on meat, I chose the scorpion and the frog as examples. The scorpion eats insects. The frog also is eating an insect. So, the snake, the hyena, the lion, the scorpion, the frog are feeding on animals. These animals can be mammals, they can be insects, fish. Also, we have animals like the mosquito that feeds on blood. So, animals that feed on food from animal origin are called carnivorous animals. So a carnivore is an animal that eats meat only. Herbivorous animals feed on plants, while carnivorous animals feed on meat or other animals. The snake, the hyena, the lion, the scorpion, and the frog are carnivorous animals. So, what did we say? Carnivorous animals are animals that feed on other animals, that feed on meat. This meat can be from insect origin or other animals such as fish, mammals, and others. What are some examples? Sharks, hawks, tigers, spiders, and many more. The third group of consumers that we're going to talk about now is Group C. The chicken is an animal that belongs to Group C. In the first GIF document, the chicken is feeding on seeds. Seeds are plants, aren't they? And in the second GIF document, the chicken is feeding on worms. So in here, the chicken is eating plants, which are the seeds, and also animals, which are the earthworms. What about the brown bear? In the GIF document, in the first picture, the brown bear is trying to catch a fish for food. In the picture, the bear is feeding on plants. So, animals in this group feed on plants and animals. The chicken is eating seeds, but the chicken also eats earthworms. So is the chicken a herbivore or a carnivore? I'm confused. Does the chicken consume plants only or animals only? What do you think? The chicken consumes plants and animals, both plants and animals. The brown bear too. Is the brown bear a herbivore or a carnivore? Chickens and brown bears are omnivorous animals since they feed on both plants and animals. When the animal eats plants and animals, we classify it or we consider it as an omnivorous animal. So, omnivores are animals that can eat plants but also animals. We as humans, we are considered as omnivorous animals since we eat plants, we eat fruits, we eat different kinds of plants, but we also consume meat. We also eat animals. So we are considered as omnivores. Some bears are omnivores, raccoons are omnivores, monkeys are omnivores. Let's classify together 9 different animals in the convenient group. We have 3 groups: herbivores, animals that feed on plants only; carnivores; and omnivores. Carnivores feed on meat only. Omnivorous animals feed on both plants and animals. What about zebras? What do zebras feed on? Zebras feed on plants only. They are not meat eater. So, zebras are herbivores. What about pigs? What do pigs eat? Pigs are omnivorous animals since pigs eat vegetables, they eat fruits, but they eat also some bugs. So pigs feed on both plants and animals. Crocodiles. Crocodiles are wild animals. They feed on other animals, so they are carnivorous animals. Rabbits. Rabbits love salads, lettuce, so they are herbivorous animals. We saw the chicken. Chickens feed on both animals and plants. They eat seeds, but they also eat worms, so they are omnivorous animals. We are omnivorous animals since we eat both plants and animals. The giraffe. Is the giraffe a herbivore, carnivore, or omnivore? The giraffe is a herbivorous animal. Lions. Lions are wild animals that feed on meat only. Dogs also eat meat only. Let me check my answers. How much did I get? 10 out of 10. So all of my answers are correct. Again, herbivores feed on plants only. Carnivores feed on meat only. Omnivorous animals feed on both plants and animals. And that's it. This is our lesson. Let's recap. What do we mean by producers? Producers are organisms that make their own food. Herbivores. Herbivores eat plants only. That's right. Omnivores. Omnivores consume plants and meat. They eat both plants and animals. Carnivores. Carnivores are consumers that consume animals only. What about decomposers? Decomposers break down or decompose dead bodies for food. What is an example of producers? Green plants. I will say, for example, the apple tree. Isn't the apple tree a green plant? I will say the rose plant. The rose plant is a green plant. So we have lots of examples of green plants that are producers. Examples of herbivores are rabbits and kangaroos. Rabbits and kangaroos feed on plants only. What are examples of omnivorous animals? Humans, raccoons, monkeys, hens, some kinds of bears are omnivorous animals. Carnivores. Wolves, tigers, snakes, eagles, and much more. Lots of animals are carnivorous animals. They feed on meat only. Decomposers. We mentioned lots of examples of decomposers such as cockroaches, fungi, bacteria, ants, earthworms. And that's it. We're done. If you still have any questions about the lesson, please send me private messages or talk to me on the group. I will be happy to answer all of your questions. See you. Bye bye.